What's up? All right. Hello, Thursday. And today, let's see, yesterday or last week, we were doing all that micro cementing in this other med spa van, or a doctor van that we're finishing up. Right now, that van is being painted. Tony's in there painting, and so he says no live streaming allowed. So I am working on this next med spa, which is brand new. We're just getting started on it. Get a good view. Is that a good view? Yeah, so you can see how the van starts off. Nothing in here. So when a van comes, usually it's got walls up, there's a flooring that comes in it, we got some lights in here, so on, so forth, so we gotta strip it. We strip the thing. We have stripped the thing already, and we've got our next thing to do. Next part of the process are these, we need furring strips. So we start our subfloor by gluing furring strips to the floor of the van. And we use only one type of glue. There's only one glue in this world that can be trusted. This is the only thing that can be trusted. To glue anything to these vans. The only glue we use. Everything else can suck it. So, these are firm. Those are in. Next step, we insulate. That's what we're going to be doing right now. Insulate. We've got the floorboards that are being cut out. But first we got to insulate it. And we do 2 layers of insulation, which you're going to see. So let's get going. Well, first let's sweep it out. Where's the broom? There it is. Get a little sweepy. Hey Tony.
What's up?
Do you know if we have any spray glue?
Hold on.
I didn't buy any. I may have some, I don't know. My broom is piss poor. We have what?
4.5 cans.
Oh, perfect. Good, thank you. We got spray glue. Subconsciously, I knew we didn't need it when I went to the store. Okay. Oi. Let's get this giant ass box out of here. Move, ply out of my way. Oy vey. Huh. Oi. Ah. Insulation. Right here. Let's open her up. Where's the blade? Something. You know what? I'm a man. I'll use my fingers. Who needs a knife? Yeah, see? You don't need a knife. All right, first layer of insulation that we always do for every single van, doesn't matter. This is the insulation that we choose. Insulate. We've got 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, 5 bags in this one overloaded box that we're gonna burn now. Let's see. And where we get this stuff from, little shout out, Van Life Outfitters. Free earth insulate. How long does it take the insulate to expand? Vacuum seal, but you don't have to wait to install it. Okay, good. Anyways, this is where we get a bunch of our stuff from. Van Life Outfitters is the biggest DIY van store online. They got everything you could possibly want. They're local to us. They're in Sarasota, so we use them a lot. And even more exciting, check this out. They, every year, have an event called Peace, Love, and Vans. I talked to Josh, one of the owners, like last week. I think he said they're gonna get like 600 vans there. This one's in Florida, and they're also doing one, I think, in Denver now. They're expanding. So there's one for the West Coast too. For us over here, Peace, Love, Vans, March 6th through 9th. And don't make fun of the name. Who could say that name? Can you see it? Where is it? Right here. It is in With Lacucci. So everyone knows where With Lacucci is. It's famous. So go there, March 6th through 9th, and join all the other vans. Okay. Time to insulate. I'm gonna need a blade because I gotta cut this stuff up, and I need spray glue. Let's grab that. Spray glue and a blade. You know what? I need to buy a bunch. You know what we always lose? There are two things that we lose. We just can't keep. We constantly are losing. I don't know about we. Maybe actually, it just might be Tony.
There.
Yes. This?
Muted?
Well. You can see that. Tony's trying to hide stuff from you guys. It wasn't funny. He was talking about his hemorrhoid. He didn't want me to bring it up. He's very nervous about his. He says his first hemorrhoid, but we've all experienced. No big deal. We've all had it.
All right. You want to play that game?
Okay, blade.
All right. So this is
There it is. We're ready.
Do you need help, sweet cheeks, opening those up?
I think I can handle it.
All right.
Thanks for being so nice to me, though. Oh. Oh no, camera.
Actually,
You right? You know, these are good vacuum seal bags, but I have no use for them, and I've already saved a bunch of them, so it's a waste.
throw them to me.
Oh, that's brilliant. There you go. Some protection. Wait. All right. So, this is the Thinsulate. If you're at all in the van world, I'm sure you've heard about this stuff. This is like a, it's a not natural thing. It's something they make, but it's a great insulator. And the thing is, people are getting that Havelock wool. I've used that before. I hate that stuff. You know, they say you need to like air it out before you put it in because it smells like sheet. It smells like dirty sheet, the Havelock, and it stays like that. It just stays. That smell lingers. It's not fun to work with. This stuff's great to work with. Great insulator. And then on top of it is going to go reflectix. But anyways, all we got to do is cut this up. We're going to cut it. We're going to glue it down all on the floor. So we're just doing the floor right now. All on the floor. And then we're going to take our reflectix. We're going to cover all of it. We're going to tape all the seams of the reflectix so there's no air transfer and there's a vapor barrier. And then that's going to tie into the walls and the ceiling and the rest of it. All right? So good to have you all. If there's any questions, let me know. What we're doing is insulating. For those who just arrived, we're insulating. We're insulating the floor. This is the very first stages of this van. This is another med spa, mobile med spa, but it doesn't matter if it's a med spa. This process is the same for every van. It's all the same. So, as I mentioned, we get a van. First things we do, we strip it. Van comes into us. It's usually got, you know, the Mercedes or Ford flooring, vinyl walls, stuff they put in there. We strip it all, get the lights off, get all this wiring stuff out like this. And we first glue down these furring strips. There's only one glue we ever use in the van, which I mentioned before, Gorilla Glue. This is the only thing that we'll ever trust. This is stuff right here. So we use that, let that sit overnight, and then we do what we're doing right now. This is where we are. This is literally like everything, all this is the first week. So we'll go ahead and lay our blankie down. Our blankie. And this stuff's great because there's no itch to it. There's no fiberglass. It's not sheep wool. There's nothing itchy about it. It's great. So we are going to insulate and fill this in between every single wood plank. Every single furring strip. We're going to cut it to size and then glue. Yeah. It'd be easier if I just left it on top of the wood, to be honest, but then you would keep adding on top. I would like to just leave it on top. But then the insulation would be, it wouldn't, the subfloor wouldn't be as sturdy. So it's tempting, but I can't do it. Because we're going to put obviously we're going to put ply on top of these furring strips. And if I just leave the insulation wrapped over it like that, and then I put the other insulation on top of that, because we're putting the reflectix on top of this, and I have to tape all the seams, then you would have a lot of cushion between the boards and the subfloor ply. So it'll add some thickness, which I don't want, because then you lose some headroom. And then I'm not real confident in having that much play in between. So we're going to cut it. We're going to fill all the seams. Even though it would go quicker. It would definitely go quicker the other way. So let's go ahead and cut her out. Was anybody here last week? Anybody? But the nice thing about this is I can just cut along top of the wood and then stuff it, because it don't have to be, you know, the exact width, and that makes it pretty easy. With this stuff, all you do is cut this black layer and then tear it apart. And it's that simple. Anyways, was anybody here last week? Last week when we micro-cemented? That was a fun day. And a miserable day. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Remember, always close your blades. Because I always throw it and then you just slice your hand open. I mean, maybe no one else is that stupid, but, you know, I am. Well, not anymore, because I close my blades. Anyways, yeah, last Thursday, this other van that is in the shop here was our first time using micro cement, and we micro cemented the ceiling, the walls, the bench. It was a lot. We really didn't have any clue about how intense that micro cementing was going to be. It took all day. Absolutely. Actually, we didn't even finish. We had to do the bench the next day. It was freaking hard, too. Wow. I mean, it's just a thin layer of concrete, and you have to move fast because it's constantly setting. You know, you think it's like a plaster. It's not plaster. It is concrete. It's actual concrete. It's cement. And it is not easy. Like, On the big surfaces, on the walls, that wasn't very difficult because you just, you know, spread it thin. You can get a nice finish on it. But man, in a van, there's all sorts of little angles and crevices, and we put on some trims that we had to use, and it was difficult. But anyways, I'll show you guys that van in a little bit because it's done. It came out, the microcement came out absolutely fantastic. Tony is working on, he's got it all primed, and then he just had to do some filling of some little cracks and things that he found to get the perfect finish. So he's filling those in. Once all that is dried and filled in, then he's gonna get going on painting today. And so I can't be in there when he's doing all this painting. I'm banned. I'm banned when there's paint involved. Apparently no one likes painting. But anyways, I got the lights in the ceiling. So it's got those ovals and those runners that go on the top. Whoever was here last week, remember those runners that connect, it's like pieces that connect the ceiling and the wall. It's like a joiner piece, so it's not like an awkward, you know, seam. Whew. Those have lights in them. They got lights in the face and lights in the bottom. Those are all in. It looks spectacular. I'll show you that a little bit later. Let me get a little bit more done here, and then I'll take the camera over and I'll show you. Ow. It's one of the coolest things we've ever done. And of course, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see all the updates. Because we do lots of updates. Or daily updates, just about. On our stories, then we do quite, you know, some posts. So anyways, you can see the progress on these vans every day rather than just once a week. You can get some snippets. We're different from every other builder in that we are like, you know, we're not just custom as in like, oh, we can put a cabinet here, bed there, blah, blah, blah. No, we do extreme custom work. Extreme custom. You know, we do design features that we've never seen before, that we'll probably never even do again. You know, I mean, just really like custom designer pieces and features in all of our vans. The last camper we did was another Stealth. It's our Stealth 2.0 design. We had a side-by-side bathroom bed, which was spectacular, with this sharp angled pantry pull out, and we had a rafter ceiling design with lights built into them. That was incredible. That van is driving around happily in California. Actually, I think the lady who bought that van's in Texas now. She's doing a little road trip. Oh, we've done a van for a mountain biker which we're actually, I'm making some shorts for YouTube on that van right now. That van, for the mountain biker, had the backsplash in his kitchen had a huge backsplash, and that was white marble I ordered just raw copper and stainless steel bars, like 1/4-inch bars, squared off, and we sandwiched the copper inside the stainless steel and then coated it and then inlaid those into the white marble backsplash. It's also spectacular. And on top of that, we did our first ever pull-out barbecue out of the bag. So when you open up the back doors of that van, he had like the ultimate tailgating setup. So we had this massive barbecue that pulled out on 500-pound slides. It had a marine electric grill. That same backsplash had a sink, like a pull-out sink that you had quick connects to connect the water. It had a little pull-out cutting board and a pull-out drawer underneath that had foam inserts for all of your grilling tools. It had another pull out for those like stainless steel kitchen accessories, those like little containers that you would put, you know, onions and toppings and stuff for burgers, whatever. And then also in that garage, it had a TV. It had its own TV. I think we got 40 some incher, 40, 42, something like that we were able to fit. And on top of, above the TV, Dometic, if anyone knows Dometic, they're the people who make like one of the biggest RV manufacturer, like component manufacturers. They do all the ACs and stuff. They do some awnings and everything. They had a electric door awning that they discontinued. I got one of the last ones. So basically it's an electric awning, but it was only like 24 inches. It's meant to go over an RV door, but I put it above the TV. So that way you pushed a button, a small awning came out over the TV and provided some shade, took some of the glare off the TV. That thing was absolutely awesome. And there was storage for pop-up tables, and I think it fit 6 folding chairs back there. That was a fantastic van. It also, on the inside, in his bench at the sliding door, it had a pull-out Yeti cooler. And then inside, we made a custom bar. So it was a little pull-out bar under the kitchen. It was glass. It was backlit, so the whole thing lit up. And we had this custom like thing we built, the custom pull-out that housed 6 tequila bottles, 2 really tall bottles. So like he wanted 1942 and Clase Azul. Those are tall bottles, you know. And then he wanted Don Julio, Añejo, and Repo. So we had spots for 4 short bottles that would fit those. On top of the short bottles, we had a little wooden slide. We actually made the slides for it to have his 4 Japanese cups that were gold plated, handcrafted in Japan. Yeah, those sat there. And then a spot for dehydrated limes, like a little container that's permanently sat there for dehydrated limes and gold flakes. Because that's what he wanted to do. When he was done mountain biking, he wanted to go in and fix his friends a drink, some tequila. It had a little ice maker under that, so he was set up. He also had a big Nespresso machine just on the opposite side of that bar. And underneath the espresso machine, we got these like little plastic, like spring-loaded dispensers that you would get like at a gas station. It's like they go inside of the countertop and it goes down low and you load it with all the cups. We had a pull out with 2 of those, one for like hot cups and one for cold drinks, like solo cups. That way you just pull out, can make his friends a coffee, make his friends a drink right there, boom. That was a hell of a build. That took 6 months. 6 months. I mean, it was intense. And it was a stressful 6 months. But, wow. I don't think we'll ever build something like that again. The video's on our YouTube. You guys want to check it out. It's building a van for a billionaire. I'm going to be releasing a bunch of shorts that I made off of it this week. All right. So I am cutting all of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue them all in place. And I'm about to the end of this row. Yeah, we're building a med spa now, but how we started off and what we are going to talk about a lot more, because what we're mostly interested in is not just van life, but specifically stealth camping, stealth vanning. That's where we started in. That's what I did for 2 years. I lived in a van with my wife, and we did stealth vanning, stealth camping. And that's why we named our company Vanning in Plain Sight. That's what we're all about. We've built stealth vans, we still do. But now we're trying to promote the community, talk about it as much as we can, because a lot of people do it, but you know, there's not really a lot of people talking about it much. People don't really know a lot of the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. A lot of times they're afraid to do it. I did it all over the country. It is very, very doable, you know, but you really need a van that is rather stealthy. It can't be that obvious. And people think that things are more obvious than they are because you're in the world. If you're already living in a van or you have an RV, you immediately know to look for that kind of stuff. That's what's in your head. Other people don't know anything about it. You know, they don't, they're not looking at vans and thinking, oh, that's a vanner. Versus if you live in a van or you have a van, you see a fan on the roof, oh, that's probably van life. But most people wouldn't think that way. But anyways, you build a van, it has no windows, has no like big exterior upgrades, but maybe it's like a fan or like a AC on the roof, you see that. People don't automatically think it's a van, it's a camper. And if they do, you know, they could suspect it, but they can't prove it. Can't prove you're in there. The biggest thing when building a stealth van is the front, that big window. People think that putting like a curtain, like a blackout curtain is good enough, but I don't think so. You put a curtain, there's usually, I mean, you can make it to where light can't get through, but most of the time, light's gonna get through, you're gonna see, and it's not as good of an insulator, for one thing, but also sound can get through. It's not very good at sound deadening, and it's just much more of a giveaway. So what we always do when we build our stealth vans, again, this one's not one, this one is a med spa we're doing, but when we build our stealth vans, no windows, no major exterior upgrades. We don't put on a roof rack. We do solar panels, like the thin flexible solar panels. We tape those on the roof with some roofing tape. So really from the ground, all you see is the top of the AC and the top of the fan. And then in the front, we put a partition wall with a pocket door. And then we felt that, we put black felt. So when you look through the windshield, all you see is a black wall. That's it. Black wall, can't tell anything else. So you don't know what's going on inside. You can't see light coming through. Without any windows, it's really sound deadened. So you can pretty much, with that, you can stay anywhere you want. You can go anywhere. So we promote it because instead of being stuck at campgrounds, like if people want to be in weekenders, they just be in an RV. But if you want to be in a van, like for van life, we tell people stealth is what's going to give you all the options versus an RV, because you don't have to go to a campground. If you love nature, but you want to go see some towns and cities, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to retreat to a campground at night, get there before sundown so that you don't get blocked out? Are you going to stay in a hotel? What's the point of that? With a stealth van, say like for myself, we went out to Colorado and we were doing all these little mountain towns. And we weren't booking campgrounds. We would stay in Aspen, stay in Telluride. We just would pull over. And when you're in between places, you pull over into a hotel parking lot. There's a million things to do. But everyone's got opinions on that. But all it takes is a stealthy looking van. There are rules to that. And then behavior. Behavior is a big one. So we were on the road. We saw all sorts of bad behavior. You know, you can't cook. You can't open up your sliding door and flash your house and cook dinner and then close it and go to bed and think that that's going to be okay. You know, you have to do what you're going to do in the van somewhere and then go to bed when you're ready to go to bed. Drive to the spot where you're going to sleep and then don't open up the sliding door to flash your house. Go through that pocket door from the front so no one sees anything. It's being respectful, because we've slept in like neighborhoods, street parking, which, you know, people don't want to see that. People don't want to see a van on their street in front of their house with someone living in there. Even if you're not causing any problems, it's not really respectful to the neighborhood, because if you had a house there, you wouldn't like it either. So you just be respectful. You pull in, go to sleep, no one knows. In the morning, wake up, get out of there. Don't make breakfast there. It's a big rule. It seems obvious, but so many people don't get that. Anyways, we'll probably be coming out with the stealth vanning rules so that van life is not a crime, stays a thing, you know? We don't want to ruin it. We've been out there and have it ruined for others, which is why a lot of Walmarts don't allow overnighting anymore, because people are just bad actors. I think we stayed in the Hamptons for 2 years So we were working there. So we did 2 summers, not 2 years, but 2 summers, 2 different summers in the Hamptons of New York. My wife and I stayed. We lived in a van, a transit, stealth transit that we built. We were working there managing a hotel. And so there were no campgrounds. We just stayed street parking. And we did fine. 2 summers in a row, absolutely no issues, never got a knock, nothing. But we behaved properly, and our van just looked like a work van on the outside. And we didn't open up that sliding door showing everybody. We snuck through the pocket door, closed it up, and we're private. But when we were there, we would go into town like an hour and a half away, and we'd go to Walmart to like pick up supplies and stuff, because there's really no box stores in the Hamptons, obviously. So when we go there, I was shocked to see 3 RVs at the back of the parking lot, but they were just rusted down, beat up, big Class A's. They looked like they couldn't even move. You know, they were just destroyed. But anyways, so every time we would go, we would see them. Like the 3rd time we went, gone. They were gone, and there was a big sign put out in the front of the parking lot that says, "No overnighting allowed." So we witnessed it firsthand. Walmart's cracking down, and you know, for good reason. Not only were the RVs there forever, but they had couches outside, they had a barbecue, they had a trash can. It's like it was a trailer park. They were making a trailer park out of a Walmart parking lot, which is messed up. Anyways, that's my stealth vanning rant. That's what we do. I'm building a med spa, but we're all about stealth camping, stealth vanning. So anyone's got any questions, come at us. If you want a Van Life is Not a Crime t-shirt, also hit us up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna wear a respirator, because I freaking hate respirators. I'm just gonna pray that my lungs can survive. I'm gonna put my shirt over my mouth. Is that good enough? Probably not. I don't know if this one works, it's all gummed up. How was everything? Good. Actually, before I do this, I did promise you, didn't I? Before I glue this down, I promised you that I would show you the new van. Or not the new van, the old van. See what we've done. Okay, get ready, you're coming with me. Van life is not a crime. Okay. For those of you that were here last Thursday, we showed you this van. This is when we did, last Thursday we did the micro cement. Okay, ready? Boom! There it is. We spent all day on this micro cement. Armenian. That's fine. I'm okay with that, I think. Like, the only Armenian I know is what, Serge, the guy from System of a Down. He's awesome. I don't sound like him at all. I don't have the voice of a singing Armenian. Anyways, so we did the ceiling, the walls. We did this little piece above here was a nightmare. We did the bench, which is covered to protect it, but that's all micro cement. Anyways, let me get a tour. So this is a doctor in Tampa. She's gonna be a mobile concierge medical practice. So we've got a wall here separating the cab from the front, which we are sitting as like the waiting area, but this is where the doctor's gonna be sitting. She's gonna have a table here for her laptop to go over stuff with her patients. And we have this curved bench entry, which is micro cement. I'll give you a little peek. And we have it lit underneath, which you can kind of tell. And then we've got this brass kick plate. It's pretty sick. And we're gonna have like a, what do they call it, desert rose, but like a form, actually it's kind of like the color. Kind of like this color is gonna be for our cushions on top. And then we're gonna have a backer. Anyways, we've got this lit slat wall going from the ceilings all the way down. It just flows. We're not a big fan of slat walls, but you know, they have those slats that you can buy on Amazon now. They're kind of chibi-changa. We wanted to really do it up and get them lit. So when you open up the sliding door, we want it to be extremely inviting. So these curves really draw you in. These slats draw you in, and then they fall into what I call the portal. So I kind of layered this. This black marble is set back. The portal comes out further, and then this is at a different level too. So you get all these different layers. Inside of here, this is still has to be painted. So he's going to paint this. We have a channel here for LED. So we're going to have an LED strip lighting up this portal, and then the logo is going right there. The Vant Medical Concierge, that is her company. That's going to be right there. We've got storage in our bench. And then we've got these 2 cabinetry units that this one goes floor to ceiling. This is Tony. Say hi, Tony. He's our master painter and master all sorts of stuff. and this cabinetry unit. So these kind of represent the divider between what we would consider the rooms, between the spaces. So this is your seating area. This is just going to be storage. We have a little mini fridge here, storage. All storage here. There's going to be a coffee maker here. These are going to be all your light switches. And then we have a TV going right here, which is going to be on a bracket. So this is kind of our divider from the procedural area, whatever you want to call it. The chair's going here. And it's a chair that goes, it swivels in every way possible. It's electric. And under here are the wheel wells. So that's where the wheels would be. Now, we are not big fans of like abrupt stops in any kind of cabinetry. We think it really breaks up the flow and it just messes up the chi. I don't know what you say. It doesn't look good. We don't like it. So we like to make things flow together. So we connect them with these runners along the bottom to cover our wheel well, and it gives us storage as well. So we got that on both sides. Back here, these two holes are for speakers. We have a sound system. We built up here, so it also we like to add layers. So this jumps up. This is where we got a trash can, C-folds, sharps container, bio trash, gloves. And then we've got these guys, which are a transition piece from the ceiling to the wall. Since we were going to micro cement, we wanted something to kind of add more to the walls and also cover up that seam. So this is all micro cemented, and then we've got these LEDs on the bottom and the side. And for the ceiling, we've got this, the ovals, which I love. Also, as you can see, we lit them up. That's our AC. Oh, I'm falling. That's our AC in the middle. Above Tony's head is the distraction fan. And then the back unit, we've got what's it going to be? Like a, not granite, it's a stone. We have a stone sink that looks like a flower. It's like I think it is marble. Look how dirty my hands are. It's like a flower. It's beautiful. It's like a flower. It's super like a flower. It's like a flower right there. That's beautiful. That's going to go in when he's done painting. Yeah, it's going to look like that. Just like that. And then this is a little fridge they need for when they mix drugs. They have to be refrigerated. So it's like a medical fridge. Storage. Over here we've got sound system and all of your electrical. Right there. Fuses and everything. Now, she sent us, like, whenever we talk to our clients, we ask them to send us, like, imagery of their style, what they're into. And she kept sending us these floating countertops. Obviously, we can't have a countertop bolted to the wall because we need that space for stuff underneath. So instead, we came up with a little floating effect. So we've got 3 inches. We have our countertop and we have a 3-inch gap that we lit up to kind of give the illusion of a floating countertop. And then we've got this as a backsplash. We continue the same countertop up, but again, we layered it and put lights behind it. And then up here, we kind of made like a little, I call it like a theater piece, you know? Yeah, and then we've got a lip here because that's also going to be lit. So anyways, that's what we've got. We're almost done. We're getting the painting. All the doors are made. They just got to get painted, then they're going to go in. When the painting's done, I'm going to get the LEDs in. We're going to get these tops in. Blah, 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 blah. The LEDs are going to go in. The flooring is done. We got a herringbone flooring. This flooring is also really cool. Beautiful herringbone. Yesterday, I did this little project where I can, check this out. This took some damn time. Herringbone line going this way, and then, oh, it continues down the curve. It's pretty good, right? That took some freaking time. It was hard, but it looks great. That's pretty cool, right? Thank you. I think it does look pretty cool. Then we got back here. I'll go ahead and show you. Again, van life is not a crime. Flipping you back around, we've got the back for all of our utility. We like to put the utility in the back as much as possible. So everything's easy to get to and serviceable. So all of our electricals right here, 2 big batteries, lithium batteries from SOK, 314 amp hours each, I believe. And then we've got, okay, so all of our vans now, I always push clients for the secondary alternator. Enough of this solar mess, this solar nonsense. It's not good enough. It doesn't cut it. It did back in the day, but now you've got all this power demands. Everyone wants an AC. That means you need a secondary alternator to charge this thing up. Otherwise, it's forever to charge this up. It doesn't work. So anyways, secondary alternator for our charging. Obviously, right now we're plugged in the shore power, so we're charging from being plugged in. Main cutoff. This is your breaker for the shore power. Boom, Victron Servo GX. This monitors everything. This plugs into it. This plugs into it. Even the batteries plug into it. Everything plugs into this, including this smart shunt. So all the power that's coming out of the whole system passes through here. on the negative, and it ties into here. So this basically reads everything. Anyways, that's basically these two just mean your system monitoring. You monitor the whole thing. There's a screen up here that it ties into so that you can read everything that's going on. Blah, blah, blah. And then these giant things are just bus bars. So big bus bars, big, beefy bus bars for everything that connects all the different components. The positive is fuse, so you got mega fuses there for protection. Blah, blah, blah. On this side, oh, in between I like to put this. This is removable. Take these screws off. All this wiring, shunk, tucks in. Back here as well, you also have holes in the floor for the wires going under the van. So you have access to all of it. You take these screws off, or these buttons off. There are screws behind. I gotta put buttons here. This removes, and then you can have access to all this stuff, including running new wire if you want under the van. So if you want to add something, obviously you don't want to screw with the walls. It's too pretty. Instead, run it under the floor and have it pop up under a cabinet somewhere. Super easy. All this wiring comes up for all of our different, like all of our runs everywhere. Goes through the side here, and then this panel goes right here, and that's also removable. So you can get to everything, which is awesome. So everything is super serviceable on this, because we send these things all over the country, and we want people to be able to see the problem, fix it right away, and if they don't want to deal with it, you can bring it to someone who doesn't need some extensive, detailed, crazy, booklet they have to study to figure out where everything is. You can just find it, get to it, no problem. Same thing with the plumbing, all open. We use PEX A, expansion PEX with opener fitting, so this stuff is expansion quality, so less chance of it popping if it ever freezes. But anyways, we keep it all open. There's obviously coming from the outside your fill, coming straight in. We got gray and freshwater tanks. You don't need huge tanks on these vans because, like I said, this is a med spa, not a camper. So it's gonna drain. There's only one drain and only one faucet. That's it. There's no shower or anything. Drains to the gray. I've already got it pre-run for our water heater going up, and then for our cold water. So as soon as I get the sink in, the plumbing's gonna go in, and that's done. We're pretty much all trimmed up back here, ready to go. We added some lights back here. So again, you need to come back here to work on stuff, boom, you're lit. And we put an outlet, why not? Put another outlet, 110 outlet down here. You're good to go, right? Okay, let's get back to, let me get you set back up so we can continue on our job while Tony works in solitude. Because that's what he wants. He wants to work in solitude right now as he paints. He's a shy painter. All right. Good view? Yeah. All right. Back at it. Let me see if this glue works. Yeah, it works. Sweet. Okay. So again, this is super simple. We've got our fluffy insulate. That is our first layer of insulation. We are going to throw some glue down. I'm probably gonna need to go get a freaking respirator. Then stuff it in between all of our furring strips. People always make such a huge thing out of insulating. It's really not that big of a thing. Everyone's got a million opinions. It really isn't that complicated. Everything you put is going to be a decent insulator. I think the biggest thing in a van, well, in a house too, but especially in a van, I think more so in a van, is your vapor. Especially, the humidity in summer. And in the winter, with condensation building up, when you have the heat on in here, you need a vapor barrier to combat the moisture. And then I always suggest getting those moisture bags, that people put in their closets. It just grabs the humidity out of the air and bags it. I always tell people to do that too, especially in winter. In the Florida heat, when it's humid, and then if you're out west in like the winter, because you got the heat on inside, keeping the van warm, and then it's so cold outside, you get a lot of moisture, a lot of vapor. So You're gonna want to combat that. But anyways, so this insulation is not gonna be it. It's not gonna be enough. We are going to put a reflectix, also from Van Life Outfitters. I get a lot of my stuff from Van Life Outfitters. They're awesome. We're gonna put that on top of all this. And with that, to create a proper, I'm gonna start from over there. Ah, my knees. My knees. To create a proper vapor barrier, we're going to tape in every single seam so there's no transfer of air. And that is what's not only going to be a great insulator, it's going to stop that condensation.
Did we do our picture?
Oh crap, I didn't take the picture today. Well, that's okay.
Will you just take it off and then we'll take the picture?
We can see this is all done in one. So we're trying to do this thing for Instagram where we have a daily picture that we're all going to mash together. But of course, I'm terrible at remembering these things. We could just say that that this is all done in one day.
We don't have to glue the floor, do we?
I do, to hold it in place a little bit. Otherwise, when I keep walking on it, then it moves.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to go anywhere. It doesn't do anything overall, but as I'm laying stuff down, it's going to move. And then I can get like gaps in it, which I don't want.
Wow, that's a big inside.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Dalvino Santorini.
You talking about my wife?
Can you guys convert a forerunner?
A forerunner.
Not even a forerunner.
Convert it into what?
There's no space in a forerunner.
What do you want to convert? Maybe they want to convert
And then Silvio.
an F-150 to a forerunner.
Damn, we got a bunch of Italians over here. Good.
Start speaking Italian, Tony. A bibbidi bobbidi boo.
That's disrespectful.
No.
It would be amazing if you guys could convert a forerunner.
Into what? A camper?
Well, there's no space inside a forerunner.
People sleep in Priuses. Or maybe he's talking about off the back. Wait, I don't know. I don't know.
Silvia Borelli. Most of the whole van just got here. Remember, guys, Christ is God. A uniform. High ground at home. That is the coolest van I've ever seen. Angela Smith, maybe. Careful skinwalkers. Are you reading this?
Is Ron Weasley here?
The weirdo behind you. Oh, that's me.
You or me? Who's the weirdo?
That was me. We were talking.
I mean, we're both weirdos. Is Ron Weasley here? He's a super weirdo.
Copper and stainless corrode. Now we sealed it.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Oh, that was from a long time ago. Okay, if you're still here, whoever asked that question, I was telling the story about a crazy van we did where there was copper and steel was like the theme, and it was everywhere. And the for the backsplash, I did an inlay of raw copper and steel, stainless steel bars that I bought. They were squared off bars. Anyways, I sandwiched the copper inside the stainless steel because we were inlaying it into white marble, which of course is porous, and so you're immediately gonna get bleeding into the backsplash, and it'll be a nightmare. So what we did, I sandwiched the copper. So now you don't have the copper against the marble, which is a big thing. But then as Tony said, yes, we put on a sealant over everything. So I sealed the stainless steel against the copper. You don't really have to worry about. That's stainless. But we sandwiched it all together and then sealed the whole thing. So hopefully that should have done it. And it's been a few years now, and it's still looking fantastic.
Santorino said back seats taken out. Bed mount with storage under.
For the Forerunner?
No.
Why not? That can be done. Of course.
Daywalker.
That ain't
What was
difficult.
the name of that weirdo?
Ron Weasley. Is he there?
What is it?
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley. That's definitely not a real name.
Well, that's the character from Hogwarts, from Harry Potter.
Oh. Didn't see wrong reason.
We had an interesting guy last week. I kind of miss him. Wish he would come back. He said he'd be our #1 fan if I didn't ban him. So, but he obviously lied because I let him stick around. And look, he's not here. Okay. Oh, I'm all furry. I'm a furry. I really am a furry. I have a wolf costume and I go to events. Halloween is my favorite day of the year. I'm kidding. Furries give me the heebie-jeebies. In a bad way, not in a good way. I think heebie-jeebies can be in a good way too. All right. Getting this down. So, obviously, we're going to do this all the way down the van. Filling in between all these furring strips, which are already glued down with Gorilla Glue. Oh, by the way, we're Gorilla Glue people. We also have the spray Gorilla Glue. Everything Gorilla Glue. We only trust Gorilla. All Gorilla everything. Okay. So we're going to do this all the way down the van. Filling in between all the furring strips. Then we're going to come in here with the reflectors, like I said, put that on top. But then we're also, very important, do not forget the wheel wells. The wheel wells are a big one. That's where a lot of road noise comes from. You know, insulation is probably the same, but you get some good noise from there. So we want a good buffer. What I'm going to do first, I also have some like kill mat. The stuff you put on the bigger, you put it on the bigger metal panels where there's some vibration. You know, with all this insulating we do, it's probably not that necessary. People swear by it, blah, 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 you know, but it probably doesn't do much. But, you know, it doesn't take much time, doesn't cost much. So we throw it in there anyway. I'm sure it does something. It takes away some rattling vibration that might make its way through the insulation and walls and everything else we do. So we're going to put that up too. And we're going to put that on the wheel wells. Because the wheel wells, you get some noise. So we're going to put that sound deadening, the kill mat. Then we're going to put this insulation, a good amount, on the wheel wells. And then also the reflectix. And we want to put the reflectix over the wheel well as well. And then, not only that, when we cover the wheel wells, when we box them in, I'm going to stuff that box that we build with insulation too. Because I think that quite a bit comes through the wheel wells as far as noise. So we want to cut that down as much as possible. Muffling it as much as possible. Whew. Stop staring at my ass, everybody. Take it easy. Take it easy. Boom. Stuffy, 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 stuff and everything. Huh?
Subfloor complete.
All right, good. Tony's got the subfloor for this cut out. So once this is all done, we can put the subfloor in. So we like to get the subfloor as quick as possible because it's just hard to operate in here without the ply down. With all these furring strips in the way, trip over them. I don't want to knock any of them up. Like I did my wife. Hoo! Okay, it's getting stuffy in here. It's getting gluey in here. Boom. Still got some left. Ah! Anyone else? Any
What's the
questions?
inverter called that replaces the solar panel?
Oh, that
in
is,
Vegas, a lot of heat.
oh, so that is a secondary alternator system. So the alternator itself, and by the way, you can also get this kit from Van Life Outfitters. They're the best because if you use their like preferred kit, they'll configure it all for you when it comes in the mail. But anyways, it's a Nations alternator. It's like a 250 amp alternator, secondary alternator that gets mounted to the van. We don't do that ourselves. We found someone else who puts on our alternators. We don't do that kind of stuff. But that gets mounted. You run 2 big cables to the back to wherever your wake speed regulator is. So it's an alternator that goes to a little regulator box, that little black box I showed you in there. And then that unit just speaks to the alternator so it knows what it's putting out, and then sends the power from the alternator to your batteries, and it monitors it and makes sure that monitors temperature, the amperage, the voltage, and all that stuff, make sure that it's good to go, and charges the batteries properly. And that little wake speed box is what you configure to your system. So you input your battery, the size of your bank, the type of batteries, all that kind of stuff. So obviously it's a little bit more expensive, but it's essentially carrying a generator with you. So, you know, RVs will have, you know, you'll carry like one of those Predator generators, the quiet ones. You got to set it outside at a campground. You got to turn it off at night, blah, blah, blah. It's basically having that because you get about the same amount of power. So you get about the same amount of power that you would from one of those small generators, but all you do is idle. That's it. Idle the engine, and you're basically like supercharging your battery bank. So solar doesn't touch it. So I always tell clients, you know, solar, well, how much solar can we fit on a roof? We got an AC and a fan up there. Maybe I can fit 600 watts. 600 watts of panels. Maybe on a bigger Sprinter you can get a little more, 800, maybe even up to 1,000 if you have a roof rack that extends more and you put the fan under it, yada yada. But you're not ever going to get more than 1,000 on a van in really any scenario. So, and that is the max peak output of a solar panel, which you'll never achieve. So if I have like a 100-watt panel, maybe at times I'll read 90, sometimes, and that's peak. Noon, perfect angle at the sun, no clouds, clean panel, the best scenario. And that's only for as long as that best scenario is lasting. So, you know, maybe you're under the sun and you get 15 minutes of perfect, and then there's a cloud that goes by. And so you're always going up and down with the power you're pulling in. And then of course at night, you're completely screwed. Clouds, you're screwed. Rainy day, it's screwed. So with the alternator, all you do is idle and you're charging at 2,000 watts consistently. Like a consistent, constant 2,000 watts. That makes no difference on anything else. So it's double, more than double the max power you'll get out of a full roof of solar panels. And it's on demand. So that's why I don't even mess with solar. Go with an alternator. Okay, it's looking nice and fluffy. It's fun when you're insulating too, when it starts to, when you get all this stuff up, and then it becomes like a little, like you start talking. Right now I can hear the echo, my voice bouncing off the metal. When I get this all insulated, it's like I'm in a little playhouse or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and do back here now. And I cut some more stuff up. Boop. Stop staring at my ass. Okay. Where's my blade? Oh no. I've lost it. I lose everything. Or Tony stole it. Tony steals my stuff. What the heck? Okay, how much you guys want to bet that he took it? Huh? Go ahead, place your bets now. Did I lose it or did Tony take it? That's the question. Where is he? Crud. Be right back. Where's Tony? He's gone, the coward. Bet you took that blade with him. We have 2 blades. They're both always missing. I've got scissors, but I don't really want to scissor this thing. Where in the hell? Wait, did I just use it? Uh-oh. I think it's my fault. Did I glue it under this? Hello? Blade? Where you go? I'm losing my mind. Going crazy. He had to have taken it. Whatever, I'll try the scissors. It's not under here. Dang it. Oh, impossible. I don't want to use scissors. Man. Hello? If it's in his pocket when he comes back, what should I do? Okay, we're gonna try to use scissors. This sucks. I don't even think it's gonna work. Scissor, scissor. Okay, it's working. Scissor, 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 scissor. Yeah, it works. But I don't like it. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not thrilled. I hope I didn't glue it under one of these. That would suck. But I think I would feel it. I don't think I glued it under there. Okay, pull this back a little bit. Yeah, so you guys should check out our channel. Tony, the guy who was just here, was in the last video we made. I don't know who remembers. Matt Foley, Chris Farley's character in SNL Van Down by the River. Matt Foley, the motivational speaker. We did a van tour of one of the vans that we built for a client, where Matt Foley gave the tour. And Tony was Matt Foley. And he embodied him. And he did a great job. The video is hysterical. So please, go on our channel, check it out. If you like it, subscribe. That would be like a wonderful early Christmas present. Or my birthday's coming up before that. That would be an even better birthday present. Have a look at it. We've got some other van tours on there. You! Do you have the blade in your pocket?
Yeah.
Ah! I told you! I told you it was him. I knew it. I was going crazy. Yeah, go check out his video. He was Matt Foley, and he killed it. He was awesome. And then we've got other van tours on there. We've got a tour of that van I was just talking about with the mountain biker van with the pull-out barbecue and the crazy kitchen backsplash and the bar and all that stuff. That's on there. We've got other van tours of ones we've done. We got more van tours coming. We are also have started an interview show where we go out in the street. Tony follows me with the camera, and we just go out there raw, randomly knocking on van doors, trying to find people who are living in their vans and interview them. It is very nerve-wracking, but it's also a lot of fun, and it's super cool. We've got a couple out now. We've got our 3rd episode coming out in just a couple days, I think. We're gonna post it. We're putting the finishing touches on it. That's gonna be another fun one from a couple. It's a couple with a hot Brazilian lady, hot Brazilian volleyball. Actually, it's a Brazilian beach volleyball girl and her boyfriend living in a van together with their dogs. That was a good interview. So that's coming out. That's a lot of fun. So yeah, go on our channel, see what we've got. Check out the interviews, the tours. We're live every Thursday. We put out regular shorts. And drop a subscribe, man, if you like it. If it's content that you're at all interested in, we're also going to start doing some more internet-based content where I scour the internet for van things. Videos, Reddit threads. I'm going to go over the van community, and we're going to talk a lot about stealth vanning, stealth camping, because that's what we're all about. So if you're interested, any of that kind of stuff interests you, and I want to do it I want to have fun too. I want to be funny. I want to have a good time. I don't want to just show off. Look how great van life is. Look how much fun I'm having. Look at this beautiful place I'm in. Look at me in my bikini showering outside my van. Look how I work. I just work from anywhere. You guys suck. I have such a good life. I want this stupid stuff. I want to have fun. I want to laugh. I want to make fun of things that should be made fun of. I want to point out awesome things that should be recognized. I want to point out things that people are doing wrong, mostly when it comes to stealth vanning, so that we all can make sure that we're being good representatives and stewards, so that the van life community is always looked up upon and not look like a bunch of bums doing it. So we're going to be making a lot of content like that coming up. So if that at all interests anybody, check us out. We're still doing the builds, but we want to put a focus on engaging with everybody, with the community, and talking to people and creating some fun content. Because I don't know, I've lived in a van for 2 years with my wife before. Now we've got kids and all sorts of stuff, But I've lived it for 2 years, and I've built my first van. Then we built this business, I've built a bunch of vans now. I have watched countless hours of van life content, and to me, I can't do it anymore. It's hard. It is all the same. It has become so dull, and it's just people trying to one up each other about who can put the coolest, most unique thing in there, or who can have the craziest situation when they're out there in their van. Which, all good and well, can all be entertaining, but to me it's getting old. So I want to do something different, something more fun. I gotta flip you. I knew he had the thing in his pocket. I told you guys. I told you he's gonna do that to me. Let's get this section over here. tear. Tear. Yeah, I'm actually going to set up a studio. I'm going to set up a little studio. So, oh, is this where I'm stopping? I'm going to set up a little studio so that I can get online and just kind of quickly and easily get online, see what's happening, and talk to you guys. Start making some content. Probably go live and stuff, but I'll just make some videos going over some of this crazy van life content online that I keep seeing. I want to have fun. I want to have some fun with all of you. Because you know what? All this building gets pretty grueling. So after work, we can go in there and just watch some of this crazy stuff. I'll tell you what, also, we should look at a van life trader together. I'm sure everyone who's been interested in vans knows about Van Life Trader. That's like the platform for selling camper vans. And I'd say it's more than half our DIY builds, between DIY and company builds. And some of that stuff on there is just wild. I mean, people make some wild stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I like making wild stuff too. But some stuff's crazy. And some of these prices are even crazier. So, that'd be fun to go through. Bada boom. Almost got it all cut out. Right here. And then like this. Boom. Now I just got a couple little slivers right here. And then the floor's done. Well, I gotta glue it. Then it's done. I'm gonna use this stuff. Use this part. Yeah, a little more. I think this will do it. No need to waste. Use it all. Booyah! Okay. Whew. All right, I think we got the whole flooring cut out with the stencil. Now I gotta glue it. Who's sticking with me? All right, what we got, people? Much love from Ukraine. Is that true? You're from the Ukraine? Much love to you too. I'm glad to have you. I have no idea what the van life community is in the Ukraine. Maybe you can let us know. You have a question. If Ron Burgundy, which is a great name, if you have a question, ask it before I have to walk away from the phone again. This is insulation, yes. How much for one fully built? There's no way to tell you because there's so many things we can do. I don't have we're completely custom builders, like 100% custom. So everything we do is different. I don't have like a standard product. So they range, and the stuff we do is usually pretty intense. So the stuff we've done is fairly expensive. Because we haven't really done simple builds. Just because there's so many people who are able to do that. We're able to do very intricate cabinetry and woodworking, so that's kind of where we stick to. It makes us different. And we are in St. Petersburg, Florida. That's where we're based out of, Vanning in Plain Sight. Finalizing, not a crime. That's our t-shirt there. But yeah, we're in St. Petersburg, Florida. We build stealth camper vans and we build a lot of mobile med spas. This is going to be a mobile med spa behind us. We just got this in, so this is stage 1. Stripped it, got the furring strips down. Now we're insulating. We're going to get another layer of insulation on top of this momentarily. We got some water. I'm going to mute you so you don't have to listen to that. This isn't a mukbang video. I'm back. I am back. I should mention, I've talked a lot about stealth vanning and my experience with it and rules and stuff, how I did it. 2 years, never got a knock, lived in it full time, worked. It was my wife and I, it was 2 of us. We built the van, lived in it 2 years, 1 summer in the Hamptons of New York, 2 summers in the Hamptons, and 1 winter in Miami Beach and 1 winter in Aspen. And that's when we got pregnant. And so we gave up the life and started a very different life. But anyways, we absolutely loved it. Never did campgrounds. Always were, when we went out west, we went to a lot of different parks and stuff. But we mainly were in towns and cities, and never got a knock. Always stayed in town, found places to park. But there are definitely ways to do it and ways not to do it. So I should mention, we have written a book. It's called Vanning in Plain Sight. Like everything with us is Vanning in Plain Sight. That's the YouTube channel. That's our website. That's our Instagram. I think we have a TikTok. That's our TikTok. That's our Facebook, I also think we have. Everything, including our book. So we wrote a book. It's called Vanning in Plain Sight, and it is all about stealth vanning. It's about our personal experience, what we did, but also about the do's, the don'ts, the kind of rules of engagement when it comes to living in a van full-time, stealthily, proper ways to build a stealth van. We go deep into finances for building, buying, living in a van, how expensive, how much does it really cost? Is it feasible? The social aspect of it, what's it like being out there on the road full time? What do your family and friends tend to think about it? All that kind of stuff. All that without any fluff. So it is a quick, easy, fun read. I like to get straight to it. My wife and I wrote that book. We like to get straight to it. No, extra fluff, nonsense. Just the book's fun. Throw a bunch of jokes in there. But we really just get at it and tell you everything you could possibly want to know when it comes to stealth vanning specifically. Van life, it's a book on van life, but it's mostly about stealth vanning because what we truly believe is that stealth vanning is van life. Like, it's not just the ultimate form of van life, but it's really what van life is. Because if you're in a van and it's not stealth, it looks like an RV, then you're just RVing, right? You're just RVing in a smaller RV as probably a younger person. You're just a 30-year-old in the van versus a 60-year-old in an RV. But you're doing the same things. You're going the same places. It's just easier for you to park and you can carry less stuff with you. That's not van life. Van life is the total flexibility that a stealthy van can give you. You don't need RV parks. You don't need it. I'm telling you, you hit the road in a stealthy van, which means, like I said, no windows, which means you need a very specific design inside. You gotta really pay attention to design so that you don't go crazy in a van with no windows. It's a right way to do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways to do it. But you need a partition wall, not just a curtain, blocking off the cab from the living area. And you can't have a bunch of exterior stuff going on. So in a properly stealthy van, I only use one cam. In a properly stealthy van, and if it's insulated, built to be 4-season, I mean, you can go wherever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. You can sleep, pull over, wherever you want. If you're on the road and you're just like traveling, you can say yes to everything you see because you don't have like a detailed plan where you have to get to this campground you booked before sundown. You can just drive and you don't have to pull over some sketchy Walmart not knowing if you're going to be safe that night, if you're going to be able to sleep at all, or if the Walmart's even going to let you be there, if they're going to kick you out. You know what the worst part of van life that I can imagine is? Getting kicked out of places and make you feel like a bum, like you're a degenerate that's not part of society. That is terrible, and no one wants that feeling. Nobody wants that feeling. That's a terrible feeling. So you get a stealthy van, and you just pull over whenever you feel like at hotel parking lots, street parking, transit. You know, you go to a city, like there's like transit parking lots we used to do. You can even pull over into neighborhoods. But there are certain ways to do it. Certain things to look out for. There are rules of engagement. And that's what we talk about in our book. And that's what I'm going to be talking about a lot more online. Because we've seen people do it all the wrong ways, and it ruins it for everybody. So, yeah, if you check out our book, it's on Amazon. Vanning in Plain Sight. It goes over everything. Wait. All right. Now with that, phase 1 today is done. Now it's time for the next level, next layer, which is Thinsulate. Okay, I'll tell you, Mr. Oh Hilarious. This is Thinsulate. Oh. Let me grab this stuff to show you. I just got this one a little dirty. This is the stuff right here. This is Thinsulate. This is what we use as the first layer of insulation. Not fiberglass, so it's not itchy. It's just a fabric. Let's see if it says on here exactly, because I forgot what to tell you. It's made by 3M. I know that. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, we get it from these people, Van Life Outfitters. They are the biggest online resource for, their online store for everything vanning, everything van life. They sell all of it. We go to them for a lot of stuff. They also have an event coming up called Peace, Love, and Vans. It's in with the Coochie, March 6th through 9 next year. There are a ton of them. We're gonna be there this year. I need to go sign up. Actually, the owner called me and asked me to do it. I haven't done it yet. I need to go over there and do it. They're a lot of fun, and they're expanding. They're going to do it in Denver this year. I think I saw online they have one coming up in Denver too, but they started in Florida because they're out of Sarasota. So they're close to us. We're in St. Petersburg. We're in Clearwater. They're in Sarasota. So they're our neighbors. They're great. But anyways, you buy this stuff from them. This is Thinsulate. So better than Havelock. If you're in the van world, you probably heard of Havelock wool. Smells like a barn. It's terrible. It's no good. It stinks. I put it in a van. It just smells horrible. And we've left it out we bought it, opened up all the boxes, let it sit there for probably a month or to 6 weeks before we put it in. It still smelled terrible. And it's not fun to work with. It's kind of itchy. Anyways, so Thinsulate is what we love. Now let me grab the next layer from over here. What's next? This stuff right here. Boom. The big roll. The big roll. Ready? Incoming. Eh? Oh. This is reflectix. Now, it's not the reflectix you get from Lowe's. This stuff we get from Van Life Outfitters, and honestly, I forget what company makes it. But it's quite different because that stuff from Lowe's is going to cut you up because it's a metal sheeting that is rough as hell. But this stuff actually is more insulating than the one from Lowe's. It's got some foam in there, and it's a real foil. They said the other one's not real, whatever. But anyways, this stuff, the main point of this isn't necessarily to be so much of an insulator as it is to be a radiant barrier and vapor barrier. So this is going to seal. We're going to make this place look like a spaceship. So we're going to get this thinsulate and thick in the walls, the doors, the ceiling, everywhere. We got the floor now. It's going to go everywhere. And this is going to go over all of it. It's going to go over all of it, and we're going to tape all the seams connecting the floor with the walls and the ceiling. We're going to tape it all up, and it's going to be sealed. So there's not going to be any air passing through, which means it's going to be a solid vapor barrier, which is going to help you with your moisture, which is what it's all about. That's the biggest thing. You can insulate, you get insulation from just about anything, but that vapor barrier is huge. That's what we got going on. So we've got that, and then let me grab my foil tape. Well, I really don't need the foil tape now. Actually, I do. Oh, I'm going to staple. I got the staple gun and the foil tape. I'll be right back. Staple gun time. Let me put this glue away. Don't need this. All right, tools for the next job. This is empty. Empty. It's good to have you all here. Which gun do I like? I like this one. And I'm gonna need a lot of staples. Oh no. You know, I hate when I realize I'm out of stuff. It pisses me off. I think, no, staples. I got plenty of staples. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. 3/8. That's perfect. That's what I need. 3/8 staples. I got my DeWalt staple gun. Everything I use is DeWalt. We're a DeWalt business. No one say anything else to me, okay? I don't want to hear it. Tony came in one day with the Ryobi. I told him, get the hell out of here. Get out with that disgusting Green Goblin stuff. We are a yellow and black family. I'm talking shit. I don't remember what I needed. What else did I need? Oh yeah, the foil tape. Where'd I put that? There it is. Ah! All right, this stuff's easy. This stuff's super easy. We're gonna lay it out over everything, and then we're gonna staple it down to these furring strips, and then we're gonna tape it. I'm gonna tape over all those furring strips because we're gonna screw onto them, so I'm gonna try to seal any holes that we make with the staples and with the screws that go on top. Might be a little unnecessary, but it doesn't hurt to go a little extra sometimes. So, let's go ahead and lay it out. All the way up to the front. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Oi. Let me go ahead and move this thing out of your way. Come here, you. We're gonna bring it down. But I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm not going to cut it yet because I'm going to cut it when I get to the end. I'm just going to let it sit down here. Okay. Now let's get you resituated. What can you see? Perfect. Okay. Staple gun. This is really all we need right now. A lot of stapling. We're gonna staple this sucker up. Or down. More down than up. So along our furring strips, we're just gonna press it. And actually, this is important. Along the sides here, where the reflectix hits the wall of the van, I don't want it to be level. I don't want it to be flush, like running just up against it. I want to pull it more in, and I want it to overlap and like lift up a bit. Because, like I said, this is important. We want a vapor barrier. We want a completely unsealed capsule in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this end up the wall. That way when we do this, when we insulate and then put this reflectix down, we can overlap this and then tape this seam. If I put it down here and then tape that seam, when it's at a 90, the tape's going to break and it's going to open. So this way we'll stop that. It's an important little piece to it. Anyways, staple, staple, staple. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna make this place look like a spaceship. I could work for SpaceX. All the way down to over here. Woo! Yes, if anyone's interested, check out our book, Banning in Plain Sight, on Amazon. You can also find a link on all of our videos on YouTube, which you should also check out. That one didn't go through. You know what? I need to. Yeah. Goes. And on our website, if you want to check out our website, banninginplainsight.com. That's where you can see what we've done. You can inquire about a van build. Check out our Instagram. That's where we post the most updates on all of our builds and what's going on. We go live, like we're doing now, every Thursday. Now, I'm telling you, it's every Thursday at 10 a.m. Now, I'm out of staples. I don't always make it at 10 a.m. Today, I almost made it at 10 a.m. It was like quarter after. But we're supposed to be doing it at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Thursdays. But it's usually between 10 and 10:30, if I'm being honest. And I should be honest. But anyways, live here on YouTube every Thursday morning. We've got a lot of few van tours on our YouTube videos that we've done of our own vans, and then we do interviews. We do man on the street interviews where I go around. It's been here we're in Florida. We're in St. Petersburg, Florida. So I go into St. Petersburg and I walk around. Tony's on the camera, and we find people and interview them. We find people that are living in their vans. I put a camera on their face and ask them to talk to me. You know, we do like a short little tour of their van, but it's not really a van tour video. We want to do interviews, so we want to see what life is like. And we've got a couple videos up there now with some freaking characters. Hysterical. We've got Van Solo on there. A guy living in a van who thinks he's Han Solo, and he kind of is. He's kind of awesome. And then we've got a guy who's got a meth mommy. He's awesome. His video is hysterical. And then we've got another one coming up. It's probably going to be posted in a couple days. Maybe we might post it on Monday, actually. But for a couple that we interviewed, a lady she's a beach volleyball player from Brazil. Thick Brazilian accent. Yeah, so we got, and then she is dating a gringo from here. So we interviewed them. They're in the van with their 2 dogs, living in it full time. Hopefully they still are. Their relationship was somewhat fresh. We have to do a follow-up with them later. But yeah, point is, it's a lot of fun. We're trying to do some fun stuff, some fun interviews, some fun content on everything van life, and more specifically, stealth van life. That's what we're interested in. All right. So you can see, I'm running down every single furring strip here, and we're just stapling. Going down the line, stapling. And actually, this right here, this is what our subfloor is going to go directly on top of. So the plywood for the subfloor is going to screw directly on top of this. Am I out already? I go through so much. So many staples. Yeah, so I encourage everybody, go into our channel, please. Follow, or yeah, give us a follow and check out our videos. Check us out. And unfortunately, I think we have to end the stream here in a little bit, so I gotta run. I have an appointment that I have to run to. How long, Jen?
15 minutes.
How long? 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we have to leave? Okay, so I gotta get off here in a little bit. Let's see how far I can get. I hate to go, everybody. I do. Boom. But I hope you were able to see a little bit today about what we do. Boom. 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 Working my way downtown, stapling all the insulation down. And I need you, and I love you. I like to insulate my floors in all my vans. Boom. Okay. We've got this front half all stapled down. Now we're going to come over here and work ourselves all the way to the back. Boom, 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 boom. Staple, staple, staple. On this one too. Staple, 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 staple. And I'm out of staples already. My goodness, I fly through these things. I'm starting to sweat through my Van Life's Not a Crime shirt. Oops. Boom, 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 ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. Okay. So. Yeah, see? This is an impenetrable barrier. And this, another thing I should mention, I keep calling it a vapor barrier, but the same thing, same concept, it's gonna work the same way with the sound. When we tape up all these seams and you've got this solid impenetrable barrier, that's gonna do the same thing with the sound waves. So it's gonna make this van really quiet. Now this isn't a stealth camper, so we're not gonna have a partition wall separating the cab from the living area. It's gonna be open. So just imagine if there was a solid wall there with the pocket door. So when you close that up, imagine how insulated and quiet this thing would be. And that's what we want for our campers. All right. Boom. All right, now I'll use the scissors. put around this real well. Around the back here. Now we're going to take a little sliver, just a little sliver, and then tape it to bring, oh, where are you? You can't see me. Oh, there you go. Okay, we're gonna take a little sliver and tape it here with our foil tape to bring this floor up a little bit so that we can get a good seal on the wall. Which, I don't know if I'll get to that today, 'cause I think I have to run to, I'm out already. I have to run to a meeting. Okay, come to this side. Okay, swivel back. Swivel back. There we go. There we go. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and cut this out. Around the wheel well. Okay, boom. Okay, bring that up too. And then we gotta add more over here. Okay, a little more staple right there. Boom. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this roll off. Voila. And that's the basics on how we insulate our vans. That's about it. So we glue down the furring strips. We get Thinsulate in between each one, and then we put our reflectix on top of everything. We're going to be getting Thinsulate on all the van. And then on top of all of that, it's going to be the same stuff. We are going to tape all the seams. I'm going to tape every single one of these where these staples go through, because they can cut a little hole to let air through. So we're going to tape all of it. It's going to be done on the walls and the ceilings and everywhere. So that's it. Thanks for hanging out and watching. I've got to get going, but we'll be back next Thursday, and maybe we'll do another live in between. But check out our YouTube videos. We've got a great one with Matt Foley. Tony is Matt Foley. We've got some walkthroughs there, and we got our interview show. We got 2 interviews, and we're about to post another one. So check it out. Check out our book if you're interested in van life and stealth vanning. It's Vanning in Plain Sight on Amazon, and follow us on Instagram too if you would. That's where most of our updates are, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.